right, joining the podcast now is author, comedian, and somewhat of a social commentator, Leslie Jones. We are so thrilled to have you on the show. It's so much happening in your world. I've been seeing you pop up a lot. So I know we have a lot to get into. Thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you, sis.
Welcome home.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I watch you and Angela and Andrew all the time.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I love your pod.
We we out here trying to do what we can in this chaos, and it's so much happening, Leslie. And what I have to say, what I appreciate about you is you have always tried to use your platform to either A, make people laugh, or B, speak out about something. I love that you center women and Black women in a lot of the things that you do and hold the line for us. So we appreciate you for that. I think in this time, we talked a little bit about what do we do. So many people are asking us all the time, what do we do? And on the other side, so many people are checked out. Like, they're just like, I can't. It's too much happening. I'm going to binge something. I'm going to stream something, which uniquely puts entertainers in a spotlight. And so I'm curious what you think the role of Black Hollywood is in this moment, as we're facing assault on every front, from our civil rights to our bodily autonomy, to our finances, to the very infrastructure of the country. What do you think the role of Black Hollywood is there?
Well, first, I feel like we need to realize what's happening through each decade, or it's that we're using less and less percentage of our brain. Like, there's no critical thinking. There's no and you get that through reading books. And okay, it's hard to kind of say this without, I don't want to be offensive or whatever, but
speak the truth.
We had a crack era. You know what I'm saying? We had, there's kids that were born of that wasn't raised like us, to have boundaries and critical thinking and think about we have to think about where the mind state of where everybody is, not just Black people, white people, this society period. We are in the complacent stage right now. Like, people always ask, what do we do? What do we do? You know what we have to do. Everybody knows what we have to do. We just too complacent, and we've paid for our convenience with our democracy. You know what I'm saying? We're not, no one's going to stop watching Netflix. No one's going to stop ordering Amazon. And we could stop smoking cigarettes for 1 week and shut shit down, but one's going to do that. No one's going to take responsibility for their role in what we have to do until they actually take it serious, because people still are on that, they can't do that. They can't make that happen. But they are making it happen. And we're sitting here not understanding that we hold the key in our hand. It's us. Millionaires don't have money unless we give them money. And as Black people, we're one of the biggest consumers of this market, and we just uneducated, man. I'm sorry. It really comes down to, whenever I hear anyone say that they're racist or they don't understand DEI, you just uneducated, because DEI is very simple. No one's saying they're lowering expectations. They're saying they're opening it up to everyone, not just to white people. And if you think that Black people or immigrants are taking your jobs, go look at the test scores. No, it's your white friend that's taking your job. So I'm sorry.
Leslie, I was going to ask you. So one of the things that Tiff was getting at is the role that you see entertainment playing in this particular moment. We know in our history, whether we're talking Harry Belafonte to Dick Gregory, entertainers have always been an essential part of movement building. And you brought up DEI, which, for our audience, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Hollywood was one of the first industries hit by folks saying, you know what, we actually are going to retract a little bit on this whole DEI thing. So when you think about what the requirement is, what is your most reasonable service in this time? And what would you challenge your peers to do?
Yeah, I challenge them to, when they go on a set, which is something I do. How many Black people here? You're not going to give me favorite nations. That's what they want to use all of it. Because can't no white woman do my hair. I've had white hairdressers on set say to me, I date a Black guy and we have a kid, so I know how to do Black hair. What? I've had a makeup artist said to me, hey, I did Viola Davis and Gabrielle. That bitch, that has nothing to do with me. You need to go and get that tone. You need to go get my color tone because I'm 5 shades darker than her and 5 shades lighter than her. So what, like, and I'm gonna tell you, you gonna get labeled a bitch, but they gonna call you one anyway. Me, myself, I don't like to look like a shiny ass bitch. When I was on SNL, we had a lighting person that was like, put some more light. And I would like, put some more light on me. Mm-hmm. This is a dark ass stage. I'm a black bitch. Mm-hmm. Put the light on me. No, and I'm very verbal. Oh, I look shiny. No, I look darker than what I am. Are you doing that on purpose? Are you trying to make me look dirty? Or is there a reason? Mm-hmm. Put some light on me. No, I had to learn that shit early too, because I'm a dark-skinned person. And if I wear any kind of light color, that shit flushes me out. So you have to speak up. Some people are scared to speak up because, again, we in this industry that's like, oh, you know, she's hard to work with, whatever. I'm difficult. Yeah, because I'm fucking Leslie Jones. And this is what people need to understand in this business. You are a business.
That's right.
You are a freelancer. When people ask you to work for them, that means that you are letting them have your services for a certain amount of time. In other words, if I had some tractors and you had a field, you are renting my tractors and you're using them to do your field, but those are my tractors. And you know what you're not going to do? You're not going to mistreat my tractors either. You're going to take care of them. And if you up my tractors, you're going to pay for them. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you go on set and you see that, man, I say it straight up. I already know when somebody can't do my makeup. As soon as they go to reach for a brush, I'll be like, you don't know what you're doing. I call my girl. You gotta force them to do it because most people don't and they get away with it. But if you say something, they do something. I mean, at least when I do it, I don't know about everybody else, but when I speak up, I have nappy hair. She can't do my hair. So I have a glam team, and what I do is I bring my glam team in, and they're good at what they do, and they be good at what they do. And then those people go, oh, wow, yeah, this works better. Oh, wow, she looks great. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to speak up.
I hear you saying, Leslie, like, you DEI down to the glam, and we love you for it. That supports Black businesses. Yeah. I'm sure Andrew, who is the real FAMU for the culture, got a question.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm loving that you broke it down like that. And more importantly, I'm loving you calling out the fact that your talent is a business. What you bring to the table, as Jay-Z says, I'm a businessman. Mm-hmm. And I wonder for you, Leslie, as you have increasingly become, I don't know if it's become of you always been outspoken because, you know, I see you through the television screen and the movie theaters. But I'm wondering, as you speak up and speak out in Hollywood, does it cost you? Yeah. Because I think you were getting at this. People don't want to be put in discomfort. They don't want to be inconvenienced, which is why we're not choosing to boycott certain industries because that would hit too close to home. Mm-hmm. Talk a moment just about the fact that you're risking something, if you are, every time you choose to step in the gap.
I'd rather risk that than I'm older now. Maybe in my 20s and 30s, you know, I would have been like, yo, I'm down for this. Let's get this done because I'm trying to be in the hustle. But the older I get, the more I think about my parents, the more I think about my grandmother, the more I think about us as a people. Like, and as getting older, I just become so into me being a Black woman. Like, I stopped perming my hair. I started growing I just didn't realize how beautiful Black women really are until you really, like, after SNL, I dug deep into like a Black woman's soul. And it was always there. You know, it was always there. So whenever I'm choosing stuff now, it don't be like I'm making a choice. It's just like, yo, this is what's happening. Like, no, I can't do this because I feel like this. So yes, I do lose some things. But the good thing that I'm noticing is that the people who do know that I'm good and the people that know what integrity and dignity is, they're starting to come back around to that because I'm good at what I do. That's why I have to be super good at what I do. I wouldn't be able to take a stance if I wasn't funny as trust.
That's real.
And believe. So that's why I always tell everybody, have some foundation behind your don't be the pig with the stick house. Be the pig with the bricks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and be able to make more bricks, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do.
Because the price of the brick went up. You know,
the
more talented you are.
All that.
Let me ask you, we're talking about
the price is the price.
Right. I appreciate that. We're also talking about this boycott, right?
Right.
A lot of things to boycott, and I think as this administration continues to sow chaos, and we see the role of the private sector, and as they fund some of these really draconian initiatives, and who knows what else is coming down the pike, but a lot of us build audience on some of these platforms. For example, Instagram, even Facebook for some people. You have a huge following on Instagram.
Yeah.
I used to, watch your replays when it was about like Game of Thrones and all the things you do would go viral on Instagram. But this is owned by Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, who's a part. Yeah. We stream content on Amazon. I'm just curious how you plan to navigate that space. Do you plan on keeping your Instagram? And if you get off, like, where is there to go? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thing too also is I'm a business person also, like, I can't, I have to learn how to navigate a business too, but it also has to be what people want too. Like if people stop with Instagram and, then I'm gonna find somewhere else, because I was doing that before Instagram and before TikTok and before Twitter. I still was out there. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to start like trying to wane off that shit, because it's not good for us anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just making unnecessary people like famous that are really dangerous. I think we're just so into this social media shit that I don't know. I just feel like if this wasn't around, we would still find a way to communicate with each other. I think we just have to put a little bit more effort into it. And I would find a way. I mean, now they got Substack. Now they got, what is that? Patreon, I mean,
yeah. Well, what are you working on now? Where can the people find you? What can they see you in next? And how are you going to promote it?
So many things. People just came out with it because we're celebrating the SNL 50th.
Yes, congrats.
So I'm on the cover of that. So I just sold a show with Universal. So that's going to be coming out. I'm also getting ready to do a play. My special's coming out. We got a lot of good shit cooking.
What play? Were you in on Broadway?
On Broadway.
I think she's proprietary. She's keeping it down.
And she had a special she didn't invite us to as much as she said she loved.
Oh my God! Let me tell you.
Imagine that.
Let me tell you.
I ain't get it.
Let me tell you.
Cut her. I'm just playing.
I ain't get it.
Let me tell you what happened. So my special was supposed to be taped in Rancho Cucamonga. So we was about to promote that, right? Rancho Cucamonga was like with it. They was like, "Yo, we gonna pay you $25,000 extra for you to mention Rancho Cucamonga." And then somebody, I guess, on the board went and looked at my material, and they was like, "Oh no, she can't represent Rancho Cucamonga," so they banned me from Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh wow! Oh, that's interesting.
So are we boycotting Rancho Cucamonga?
Right.
Yeah, we joined. Hey, we ain't going.
And then I told him, I said, "So it wasn't the meth? It was." It's not the robberies and that's not what's killing. Oh, okay.
Right.
Me telling a dick joke. Oh, all right.
Wow.
So what happened? We end up.
That's where the invite went.
Yeah. Then we had to
it's in Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah. We had to redo it, and we end up doing it the night after the election, which was the worst night.
We wouldn't have went.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, nobody wanted. And I was like so mad because I was like, why did y'all pick that date? And they was like, we thought Kamala was going to win.
We definitely all thought we would have RSVP'd that we were going, Leslie, to celebrate with you, and wouldn't have shown up. You would have been done with it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Before we let you go,
so many people.
Before we let you go, I have to just ask. Before we let go. We got to ask, you had referenced your 20-somethings, your 30-somethings. If you could turn back and look at that, sister, for those of us who are, still coming up, the rough side of the mountain.
Hilarious.
What advice would you give? How would you ease the soul, the mind, the heart, looking back on your troubles at the time and how you got over?
You know what's so crazy? First of all, I believe in God. I really do believe in a higher power. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I believe in the God that these people believe in, but when you get older, you do start developing a real relationship with him, because you really do. Like, there's times that come where you go, like, I had a surgery and, that type of stuff. People die. You go on your knees and be like, yo, you say you there, like, are you there? And he has proven to me that he's there. Yeah. So that for me is very important, because then you just really, hope and faith work in together. You know what I'm saying? But I would tell young folks, which I tell people all the time, if I could quantum leap to myself and say, please don't worry. Like, worry is not going to help the situation at all. It's just like, try to enjoy every stage of your life. Like, enjoy the small apartment, enjoy the raggedy ass car, enjoy the shitty job. Enjoy it. Like, there's so many moments in there where you having fun. I think back when I was broke, and the most fun thing I used to do was, like, I had a coupon for El Pollo Loco, and I would go get me some chicken wings.
Not El Pollo Loco.
I would get me some chicken wings and 2 churros. And let me tell you something, and go home and watch my favorite. And I'm talking about joy. You have to find the little creases, because that makes you human. Also, disconnect. Like, I literally leave my phones now inside another room, because you have
Tiffany.
to disconnect. You have to. I promise you will waste most of your life. And go the outside. Yeah. Go outside.
Agreed.
Walk in the park. Look at the sky. And let me tell you something. And I tell youngins this all the time. If you do not appreciate where you are, you will not be given the next step. Until you appreciate, you will not graduate. That's just it.
That's a word.
You made me think of something, Andrew. This is going to be our last question, because I know we overtime and Leslie got to go. But just real quick before we let you go, you work with a lot of other comedians, but also white women comedians. And I know we have talked about on this show, and I've been struggling with this question of the role of white women in our politics. And so my attitude is kind of like, y'all got it. Y'all work it out amongst yourselves. I can't do it. But when you're in those spaces, Leslie, as the sole Black woman in an ensemble cast or on a show like SNL, do you get into those conversations? And what would you say to white women who are complaining about it? And maybe they voted right, but their grandma voted for Trump, or maybe they group chat voted for Trump because the assignment was to bring along your friends. How do you respond to them in this moment right now?
Girl, do you know how much trouble I used to get into? I used to get into so much trouble, because they would do things and I'd be like, that's racist. Like, I'm that person. I'd be like, no, that's racist. Or a microaggression, like, that's racist. What you mean by that? Like, I don't give a about calling a bitch out, because, like, you can't fight me, so let's go. Like, what did you mean by that? But what did you mean by that? Yeah. But what did you mean by that? But, like, no. And then a lot of white women do say things because they think that they're saying, like, I love when they say, well, I don't see color. And I'll be like, yes, you do, bitch. I said, you see colors because your outfit is coordinated, right? And let me tell you something. You're going to see my color, bitch, because I'm a beautiful black alabaster. And if you don't see my color, then we have a problem. So you gotta check them. Like, there's club owners that are Trumpers, and you gotta check them. You gotta check them. You're wrong. You're wrong. Wrong. There's a club that I don't go to because I don't do this. You don't get to have me and then vote the other way. You don't get to have me and then tell me that I'm a 3/5 of a person, or that I can't take care of my body, or Pastor. I can't get the same pay as you. No, the pay is the pay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I get in trouble all the time, son. Yeah. Trust. I get in trouble all the time especially the white men. Because let me tell you something about white men. And I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done, but I know every Black woman will feel this. You need to understand that white men have a different type of fear for Black women, because They was on the tit of our ancestors. We raised them. We're their discipline. When we talk to a white man, have you ever just really honestly talked to a white man and you could see him turning inside? Because they know we right. We your mammy.
You know them too well.
We your mammy. I took a switch to you. I took a switch to your great granddaddy. Like real talk. Like there's that connection there.
Yeah,
it really is.
No doubt.
And I think that's their biggest fear is that if we get in control, that we're going to do the same thing that they did. But we don't feel that way. We are nurturing race. And this is another thing. We don't want to erase them. They want to erase us. That's the problem. We know you want to survive. Go ahead and survive, but leave us the alone.
Right. Yeah. Leave us alone.
Leave us alone.
That's
Leslie with the bar.
You do see,
we got a new name of our show.
The price is
That's
the
what
price.
I was going to say. The new name of the show
is
You Do See Color, bitch.
You Do See Color.
Your outfit coordinated?
Yeah. How dare you say you don't see color? Bitch, you see it.
Thank you, Leslie. We so appreciate you joining us. This has been excellent.
Native Land Pod is a production of iHeart Radio in partnership with Reason Choice Media. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.